Come on. Okay, hi everyone. Can everyone see and hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Can everybody hear me? Can everyone hear me? Okay, great. All right. All right, so I'm going to bring on my co-host, my trusty side person, Al. Okay, hold on a second. Let me add him.
Hi, Josie. Hi, everyone.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to have to move it over. Okay. And then, hey, Al, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How are you tonight?
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Oh, my God, I'm getting good at this. Now, let me see. Now, is it running in YouTube already or what? Because I'm trying to give Miss Can't Be Wrong a wrench. So how do I do that, Al?
If you go to the right of her comment with your mouse, with your cursor, there's going to be three dots to the right.
It won't do that. It won't do that in the StreamYard. So I have to do it.
You'll have to do it straight from your page, or somebody gets a wrench already. I guess they'd have the option of giving that person a wrench. You move the cursor to the right. There's going to be three dots, and if you, it'll be a drop-down window, and you'll have an option to add as moderator.
Okay, let me see if
just go to the right of their comments. Maybe you want to open YouTube for a second and do that. I don't have YouTube open right now. I'm right here on the stream. Hi, everybody. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Josie.
Oh, no problem. No problem. We got a lot to discuss. We got to talk about the Muppet Show, right? Last night.
So yeah, it was, that 5.5-hour show.
Right, the 5.5-hour show. So while I'm doing this, trying to get Miss Can't Be Wrong, please give me your thoughts on the 5.5-hour show. And we'll start with the host, Tom Lavecchia. Did you hear me?
Are you asking me, Josie?
Yes.
Yes, okay. The show. First, start with the host. I saw the length of the show. We'll start with the host. I found the length puzzling, 5.5 hours running until, after 2 in the morning. Very unusual. And the host, I'm not sure what type of direction or what type of audience he was looking to get with a show like this by bringing a couple of guys on that are obviously trolls. They built their shows spewing garbage, toxic garbage, and if it's going to be a peacemaking show, I'll get to more of that later, but it seemed like he lost control of the show. He let the inmates run the asylum. He had a couple of really sharp guests that provide excellent content, have successful shows. In Fatbold Sicilian, growing shows, and Jeff Nadeau, a mafia show expert. He does the sit down. So he had these two guys there, right? Guys that were able to give interesting angles on the show and address different topics. And when they did speak, when they got a chance to speak, they did. But I thought the host let these two guys, Lee Cole and Tony Pete, just yell and rant and go off on their usual filth. And he seemed to sit back and let them run free rein, even when they were going, attacking women as usual, making threats. At one point, Tony Pizza was threatening Fatbold Sicilian. Basically, we're going to come after you, things like that. Now, why would the host let somebody go, let somebody run with that, not even call them out on it? And at times, all right, I look at it with an unbiased eye. I'm doing these mob show reports, so I got to look at things in an analytical way and see what's actually going on these shows. And one of the things would be referencing the shows or the topics you're going to be talking about. At one point, Tom, his name's Tom, I guess, right? He mentioned that
Tom
Lee Cole is
Levesque.
moving in a different direction, and now he's done 4 or 5 excellent shows in a row. And if you look back, 4 of the last 5 shows are attack shows, pure garbage, pure hate. So I'm not sure what they were looking at. And if you don't believe me, go to Lee Cole's page and his videos and bring up his list of videos. And 4 out of the last 5 were just pure garbage. And that was incorrect on the host's part. He's not going in a different direction. And again, he let Tony and Lee just run wild, and it was very hard to watch that. I didn't see the full 5 hours, okay? So we might have saw different parts of it, so I trust your judgment. If you have a question, just say what you saw, and I'll give you my take on it. And the stuff is out there, so people can go back and weed through this 5.5 hours. You can watch both Godfather movies during the time that show is on. Come on. How much content? Is it content? Was that even a show? Or was that a troll show letting Tony and Fat Bald Sicilian run wild, screaming, ranting, raving? One time Lee Cole was saying that he's rooting almost for Fat Bald Sicilian to relapse in that shit like this. This is pure nonsense, pure evil, the underbelly of society, letting these 2 guys run loose. I question anybody really who would bring these clowns on their show. It kind of makes me wonder, why would you give garbage, a shot like that, a platform, and give them a platform for 5 hours, not let the other guys talk? And just one more thing, and it was mostly Lee Cole talking, but when the other guys did come up and they answered, they called out Fat Bald Sicilian and Jeff Nadeau with intelligent questions and observations. They called out both Tony Pizza and Lee Cole and shut them down, chopped them off at the knees. And Lee's like, "Oh, Fat Bald Sicilian, you're not as smart as you think you are." Well, Lee Cole, I'll tell you what. You're not going to ever be mistaken for Mensa material or anything like that. I probably see you 80 to 85 IQ range. You don't bring good content, and I don't think you have a chance to ever have a successful show. You might have built your show with troll shows, 10 of the first 12 videos on ripping John A. Light. Then you had a good show. We had Jimmy Calandra as a guest, who will now have nothing to do with you because he saw right through your trash, and you got most of your subscribers that way, and now you have flatlined. So, no, these guys don't have shows, and I thought the host kind of dropped the ball there. I'm not sure what he was doing or what his intentions were to have creeps like this on his show and give him a platform for that long and never once called them out on it, even laughing when they were insulting people or bashing women. It was just awful. Go ahead. What do you think?
Okay, so what I saw was the Muppet Show. Can you hear me without these earbuds in, or what?
I hear you just fine.
No
How am I
echo.
coming across? Okay, the audio?
Yeah, you sound fine. No echo or anything like that?
Okay.
Okay, because those were getting on my nerves. What I saw actually was the Muppet Show. Let's start with Tom Levesque. Now, he was NBA and the Button Man. He was with John Panisi. And quite honestly, I'd called a couple of their shows, and they were actually pretty good. I quite liked John Panisi, and I liked their show. Since he's separated from John Panisi, it seems like he's gone on like this drunken bender. I mean, he was on Vinny Bracco's show the other day, drunk off his ass. And I suspect he had several drinks last night. But anyway, I thought he lost total control of that. It was a troll show, basically, a drama show. So, he loved having Tony and them there. I just felt it's not a good look for him. He's got over 8,000 subscribers, and this is what they're looking at. That was what my initial thought. And so, I just thought not a good look for him. And we'll get to more of him later. who was next in that Muppet lineup? Oh,
Can I just add one thing about the host again before we go on?
Yeah, can I say just one thing before we go on with him?
Mm-hmm.
Fatbull Sicilian actually did an excellent job of combating those two degenerates, Lee Cole and Tony Putzer. I call him Tony Putzer now, not Tony Pizza. Tony Putzer. He did a great job battling them all the way through. Basically, they're saying today, oh, they got hold of it. No. Verbally, Fatbull Sicilian had them, sorted. He did a great job in that. I'm not including him in the Muppet lineup. So just so he knows that, nor am I including Damien Trites. Now, the other two guys that were behind Numbnuts, what's his name again? Tom LaVecchia. I don't know who they are, so I'm not including them in this. I'm including Tom LaVecchia, Vinnie Bracco, Jeff Nadeau, Lee Cole, and Tony Pizza. So continue with what you were saying.
I thought something else was interesting when the host called out. He wanted everybody to agree, and this is when two of the guys, Fatbull Sicilian and Jeff Nadeau, spoke up. He went a couple of angles. First, he says, well, before we go anywhere else, this is one of these kind of moves that it looks like he might be trying to take control of the show. Let's get it clear right now. I think we can all agree that Tony Pizza, was part of the life or whatever. And right away, Fatbull Sicilian and Jeff Nadeau, Jeff said, no, what has he done? There's no proof. No, I'm not going to agree to that. And Fatbull Sicilian basically said the same thing. So I was wondering where the host was going with that. And the other one was this angle, like we're all in this together with the shows. We can kind of help each other out. We have good content, and he's trying to make peace with these guys. And I see no reason for Fatbull Sicilian or Jeff Nadeau to ever include those guys. Would you want to make peace with an enemy on the street that sets out to harm you and cause trouble and make your life difficult? The best thing those guys could do is just ignore Lee Cole and Tony Pizza completely. No reason to make peace with these trolls. And geez, maybe you just want to ignore it. You don't want to fight back and forth, but to actually say we're all in this together and we all can have great shows, and and then Lee Cole was coming up with another angle. He was like, I think me and Fatbull Sicilian would still be friends if it wasn't for the trolls. Hogwash. Lee was one of the trolls, and one of the reasons he's had a fallout with everybody is because he himself was the troll and the one that attacked everybody. And this peacemaking thing, and
him and Josie are the biggest trolls out there. But what made me laugh about Tom LaVecchia, he was doing this shit, this psychobabble bullshit. So you say something nice about Lee, and Lee, you say something nice about Fatbull Sicilian. Give me a fucking break. The only time I've ever agreed with Tony Pizza was when he said, no, fuck that. And, what are they, crazy? Who is he now? The new Dr. Phil? He's trying to negotiate this piece. There's people you can negotiate with, and there's people you can't. And Tony Pizza and Lee Cole are one of them. And the prime example of that, when it was all said and done, I didn't watch it last night after work, but I watched it today. And what happened is, at the end, they kind of came to an uneasy truce where they were saying, okay, you don't talk about me, I won't talk about you. 12 hours later, Lee is on with Tony Pizza bashing FBS, you, me, everybody else. But Lee will sit back and say, oh, no, it wasn't me. I just had him. I wanted on my show to talk about mob stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. And once again, he's got someone else. He's so happy right now that he finally got Tony Pizza on his side. He's been kissing his ass for weeks. He was hoping for this. And now he's got another ally that can bash me, bash you, bash FBS. In fact, bash anyone that disagrees with him. And that's what happened there. And Tom,
no, I'm never going to engage with those assholes.
Allowing that. But anyway, let's get on. So, on the Muppet Parade. You know, we saw them. Who was next? It was Tom LaVecchia. Who was the next one on that lineup of Muppets? Vinnie Bracco. Now, I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to say what I think. And I think, Vinnie Bracco is a very nice guy. He is. He's a sweetheart. He's got a good heart. He's a good guy. I'm not disputing that. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to take a stand, especially when people are talking shit about your friends. Now, I've been watching him a little bit, and what I've been seeing is, okay, he could be on Lee's show, and Lee talks shit about FBS. He sits there skinning and grinning. He doesn't really, well, I'm not in that. Then he can be on FBS show. Let's say FBS Summit says something about Lee. Same thing. I'm not skinning and grinning. Now, sometimes you have to take a stand. Now, what Tony Pizza said about me last night, calling me a black cabbage patch, something or another, that was wrong. And sometimes when wrong is wrong, you don't have to, go after that person. I'm not saying choose a side, but what I'm saying is when wrong is wrong, you point it out. The only man up on that panel yesterday was Damien Trites. He said what he had to say. He wasn't disrespectful to Tony Pizza. He just said what he had to say. Tony Pizza loves him today, and we know why. Damien sent him money as well as, he said, Damien sent me $250. I love him. I love him. I love him. Well, a couple of weeks ago, he loved Jimmy Calandra. Jimmy Calandra sent him a couple of hundred. Prior to that, it was Sammy. Sammy sent him a couple of hundred. And what's he doing with them now? Trashing him. So it's only like a week or two. Damien says something out the way, he's going to be trashing him too. But the only man I saw up on that panel last night was Damien. Now then, and I just think Vinnie Bracco, he's a nice guy, but sometimes you can't be friends with everybody. When Lee's trashing, well, not necessarily trashing Shanna, but, he hasn't defended any of them, and they're his friends, or supposedly. He said, Fatbull Sicilian, he wouldn't have a channel without him. Fatbull Sicilian has helped him. Fatbull Sicilian. Well, listen, I'm just, old school. If someone's talking about my friend, if I'm somewhere and they're talking about you, I'm going to correct them. Wait a minute, that's my friend. And I wasn't seeing that. And what Tony Pizza said last night about me, I'm not his friend. He doesn't have to defend me. But what he said was wrong, and he should have spoken up. The only one that spoke up was Damien. Now, we can move on.
Well, you know what also puzzled me? When they started going off like that, when Tony Pizza especially, or Lee, if I was the host at that point, boom, I would have knocked them right off the show or put them on the side, muted them, or back in the waiting room. I wouldn't give them a platform to go on with that garbage.
What did they do? They all started.
They let him go.
Tom LaVecchia, the host, laughed the loudest. Then they were all laughing. Jeff Nadeau put his head down, but he was laughing. And he did get up for a minute and say, oh, hang on a minute. But he laughed right along with Lee. Lee had a good old chuckle because we know what he's all about. The only one that didn't laugh actually was Damien. And I'm calling all of you fuckers out. You can kiss my black ass, all of you. Sorry, Al, but, what kind of bullshit is that? And then today they're saying, oh, Josephine's always using race. Josephine's always talking about race. You tell me one time I've ever brought up anybody's race on my show.
They're the only ones that say that about you, nobody else.
Mine is brought up time and time again. And last night was the fucking straw that broke the camel's back. You motherfuckers can kiss my black ass. All of you. Except Damien and except Fatbull Sicilian. Okay, let's carry on. Sorry. I've been fuming all day. Fucking arsehole.
Don't let it get to you. Consider the source. These guys are jokes.
No,
I know it's
exactly.
100% wrong, and those seem to be the only couple of guys that bring these angles up.
And
That
some
nobody else
moron,
does.
but let me
Yeah.
tell you this, some moron today kept saying, when has Lee ever said anything about race? That's not true. Excuse me, go back and look at all his freaking videos. What did he say yesterday about Pasha Morris? She's a janitor. You know, what does that mean? What do you mean? You have never heard me talk about anyone's race on it, except my own. You know?
That's what they are. They're pure garbage, these people.
Oh my
And
God.
I'll tell you what, that they let it go. I got to go back to this again, that they let this show go on for 5.5 hours. Could you imagine? Everybody knows probably an asshole from their walks of life in real life. Would you ever sit down with one of these people and let them yell and vent for 1.5 hour, 5 hours, and listen to them and consider that entertainment? No.
No,
The
no,
same
not
exact
well,
thing. It was
normal
a real
people.
pain in the ass just listening to this yelling and screaming of total idiots, brainless fools. That's not entertainment. To think you're actually going to bring them together. Fat Bullet Sicilian, Jeff Nadu, I would
Dr.
never be
fucking
on a
Phil over
platform with
here.
those idiots.
Yeah,
And
Dr. Phil over here.
hopefully
Told
they
me
learn
Becky.
from it. They don't repeat the experience.
Right,
Leave those pieces of shit alone out there
right,
by themselves. Don't engage them. Don't pay them any attention. See them for the fools they are, and certainly don't get pissed off about them because they've done this to everybody in their lives. That's
right.
why they're alone now
Exactly. So let's
with
get to
nothing.
Jeff
They're big
Nadu.
fat zeros who have completely zeroed out with nothing to offer the world or society.
Right, let's get to Jeff Nadu. Now, I've always spoken well of him. I liked his show. You
Mhm.
have. I was really disappointed when he put his head down and started laughing. That's my
I
issue
didn't
with him.
catch that. I didn't catch that. I
Yeah, well,
gathered
I
maybe
did. I
you just
watched it
didn't
back.
believe what happened. Yeah, okay.
Well, I did. I looked to see who was laughing, and he put
Okay.
his head down, started laughing. It's not fucking funny.
No, I agree with you. That's
I'm
not
not
funny at all.
amused, Jeff Nadu. I'm not amused with you at all.
People should have
But
called
that's
him
my
out.
only issue with him. What
Okay.
now?
All right.
Yeah.
Definitely the host should have called them out, muted them, something. I don't know why they would think it's funny and they're laughing and let this stuff go.
No.
It's puzzling to me. I don't know what direction Tom is looking to go with his show or what he's trying to do. But my suggestion would be never to have Lee Cole or Tony Pizza on again.
Well,
You might want to say, okay, I want to give everybody a fair shake, but if you have half a brain, do you want to give people like that a fair shake and give them a platform? Not everybody in society has the best of intentions for others. These two guys are obviously out there looking to wreak havoc, hurt other people's channels, people that have good channels. I don't think they deserve any break at all. Whatever they do on their own, that's their business. I'm not going to engage them or entertain them in arguments or anything like that if they want to go that route. That's not for me. I don't waste my time with losers, and that's what these guys are. Jeff
right.
Nadeau, yeah, if he was laughing, I agree that's 100% wrong, but
No,
somebody
I'm
should have
not
said
amused.
something and cut him off at that point. Don't let
Yeah,
him
no,
go.
yeah. Anyway, then we move on to Tony Puzzo, Degenerate Pizza. I mean, this man is so vile. Him and Lee Cole together, I said it the other day, they're a match made in heaven. They're two like antichrist beasts, the pair of them. His mouth is so vile and nasty. And, I I haven't even watched it. I can't watch his show. Sometimes what I'll do, I'll stick it on and I read the chat because I like to see. I want to see who's in there because
Mhm.
sometimes you get these people jumping in and out of your chat and they're all up in ears. Hey Tony, yeah Tony, like Tony's the great. He's a degenerate
Most of their
loser
audience are degenerates
living in
too.
his car. He's living in his car. Let me tell you something, Tony Pizza. In fact, everyone that's watching tonight, please donate to my Cash App. And let me tell you why. I need gas money. On my way, I may need to get some clams and some lobsters. I might want to stay in a hotel, swanky hotel for a couple of nights. Because Tony Pizza, let me tell you something. You don't have to come looking for me. Tell me where you are. I'll gas up my car and I'll come to you. And when I get there, Tony Pizza, you're going to get a kick in the nuts. You're going to be like nutless pizza, okay? And you can kiss my high yellow black ass.
He's not even worth it, Josie. He's not even worth it.
No,
I
I'm
wouldn't
sick
waste
of
my
him.
gas to see that jerk.
Yeah, but it isn't just, the racist shit he says. He's homophobic. He's anybody that's different to him. He's got something to say. Living in his stinking ass car. When's the last time you washed your ass, Tony Pizza? And then he goes on about this woman, Sama. I did a show on her yesterday, and what I did find out about that woman, she wouldn't piss on Tony Pizza if he was on fucking fire, right? And yesterday he admitted, no, I didn't sleep with her. We're friends. We were kind of going steady. Oh, give me a break. That woman wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot barge pole. And you saw it when he was in New York. She was trying to get away from him, really. And then she treated him to lunch and told him to piss off. That's what happened. So you can kiss my ass, pizza man. Okay, sorry, Al.
What's next?
I'm a little fired up today. So, moving on, Lee Cole, your thoughts?
It's just the same old Lee Cole. I mean, he tried to engage Fatbold Sicilian. He tried to yell over him. Doesn't come off as he's not bright at all. Anybody that listens to him, before I blocked him, the comments he would write in my video, just his punctuation and the way he wrote, it looks like he's not bright at all. And the way he talks, the same thing. I don't think he has anything to offer. He just made a fool. If anything, the one good thing about that show, for anyone that watched any of it at all, Tony Pizza and Lee Cole both exposed themselves as complete jerks and losers and idiots. They have nothing to offer at all. And Lee was the same thing. He was trying to yell, trying to fight with Fatbold Sicilian, yelling over, people saying, oh, I think the host, Tom, he said, oh, I saw Lee Cole in a debate where he was winning a debate. I've never seen Lee Cole win a debate. All he does is scream nonsense, try and divert, change the subject. So he's definitely no debater. He's just a big mouth that talks shit. So I thought he made a fool of himself last night. I think he exposed himself again. Didn't do his quote-unquote channel any favors. The thing is pretty much flatlined since he got all those subs in the beginning from his freak shows. Mm-hmm. And again, and then he was nodding when Tom said, your last 4 or 5 shows in a row have been really good. Go look. 4 of the last 5 shows have been pure garbage, hate-filled nonsense. And Lee's like nodding. Yeah, oh God, I got over it. He didn't really notice. So I just saw nonsense from Lee Cole. He exposed himself again. He showed his ass again last night. Thank God I didn't watch 5 hours of it. I'm not going to listen. It was very annoying. It was a tough listen for the time I did, but I listened to it some just so I could weigh in here with you tonight. You want to give an unbiased guy's opinion, I had to see some of it. That's sometimes the only reason I see any of their shows, just to weigh in, because it's something people are talking about or confused about. Oh, look what this idiot did now. So yeah, I got to give an unbiased take. So sometimes I have to see some of it, but I'm not going to watch 5 hours of this crap.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point. We're watching the shows to review them.
Mm-hmm. Unbiased eyes.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not necessarily unbiased because I've dealt with this fucking asshole for long enough. You know what I mean? So I'm not necessarily unbiased as you are, but, I try to give like a honest opinion. But what I saw last night was Lee Cole being Lee Cole. He's a sneaky, devious, underhanded asshole. He got out of it what he wanted, which was Tony Pizza, who's too dumb and thick to even realize how he's being used here. You know what I mean? He only got on these shows. Tony Pizza's looking at, the money, the cash apps, this, that, and the third. And that's been drying up. So Lee Cole for him is another avenue. He's got another platform. But for Lee Cole to say, okay, he makes kind of a truce with Fatbold Sicilian, and then 12 hours later, he's got Tony Pizza on there bashing everybody. Oh, no, it's not me. My hands are clean. You're giving him a platform. You're allowing this because he wants the views, he wants the subs, and he wants the money. That's all it's about. You know, all I saw personally was the same old Lee. You know, he's devious, he's underhanded. As you notice, he hasn't mentioned Deanna much, has he? You know, people have to say, well, how's your wife? First of all, she's not his wife. She wasn't fool enough to marry his old crusty ass. And second of all, he wouldn't really know. He hears it through the grapevine because he's not allowed around her. You know, how many more times do I have to say it? Is Tim Reed in here? Hey, Tim, do you want to come on? I'll drop you a link because it's time people heard you. You know, I've been trying to get your ass on. Say yes. I'll put the link. Let me get the link. Hang on. Invite. Copy. Okay, I'm going to drop the link in the chat, Tim. If you want to come on, click the link. This link is for Tim. Okay?
Pete's Coffee, French dark roast.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you're drinking tonight.
Cup number 4.
Okay.
Is Tim out there?
Oh, okay. Let me put. Oh, I didn't enter it. I didn't put it in there, did I, idiot? I am. Hang on. Tim Reed. Hang on. Enter.
That's the other thing, Lee and Tony.
Okay, there's the link.
Everybody else are trolls, but they're not. It's unbelievable. They try and twist things around. It's just insane.
That's insane. Click on the link, Tim. Yeah, in fact, somebody I was just reading with Bad Golfer said Tony was blocked by Sama, only man in America who was. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like that. Oh, here comes Tim. Hold on now. Add to stream. By Sama, only man in America who was. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like that. Okay, so you need to turn off your YouTube, Tim. Hello, Tim? Hey, Tim, how are you doing?
Hi, Tim.
Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Us? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, Tim, yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Tim, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
We hear you.
There's an echo over there. I think you got to turn down the volume on the YouTube.
Okay, I should be able to hear you now.
We hear you. There's an echo over there.
Okay, let me. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, Tim.
Okay, so please tell us what happened to you, please.
Oh, with JC?
With JC and me.
Okay, well, with JC, JC uses a whole bunch of different aliases to attack people in the chats, like he was doing it last night. But when it started with me is that he was, I started watching him, and he had inconsistencies in his story about being in the Detroit mob. So I just basically kind of asked like prying questions to find out if anything was truthful, and he started going crazy.
And what did he do about that? Did he threaten you? Didn't he threaten to come to your house and stuff like that? Are you there, Tim?
Critical of his story as well.
Oh, no, you went out for a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Now, didn't he threaten to come to your house?
Yeah, so he was using multiple aliases, and he was threatening under the aliases to come to my house, to vandalize it, burn it down, hurt me. And so I caught him, and when I caught him, he took down his channel, scrubbed the comments, and then put it back up. But that's kind of what JC does, is he goes into these different chat rooms and different comment sections under aliases and attacks people that are at all critical or even question his story whatsoever.
God, it sounds like Lee. And so did he...
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
There's 3 brothers together. Oh, here comes Fatball Sicilian. Hold on a second. Add to stream.
Hey, nigger.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Can you
here.
hear
Is
me?
it you? Is it you and the gay guy? You fat.
That's a
ugly
troll, Josie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Get him off. Get him. He's still on the screen there. Get him.
Daddy.
He's still on the screen there. Get him out of there.
Look
All
at
right,
that.
hold on. I'm trying.
All right, get him.
Oh,
Okay,
hold
good.
on. Hang on. Let me mute him. All right. Oh, God.
He's gone.
This is going so slow, though. Okay. Kick from Steve. Kick guest. Okay. Are we good now? Are we good now? Can you
I'm
hear me,
here.
Tim?
I hear you loud and clear.
Tim, can you hear me? Tim? Oh, man.
What do you think of that show last night overall? What do you think was the point of that show? Looking back.
Oh, hang on. Tim's back. Can you hear me, Tim? We can't.
Yeah,
we
can you hear me?
barely hear you at all. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try and come back in.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Okay. So he's going to try and come back in. Okay, finally got rid of that fat bald Sicilian. That was funny. That's my first one. I've got to be careful of that, haven't I? Because I saw it wasn't fat bald Sicilian's thing, but I thought it might have been him.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. Okay, let's see if Tim comes back in. But anyway, what did I think of what show?
The show, that 5.5 hour show. What do you think was the point of that show? What was
I
the
think
point
the
of that show? Just to have guys screaming for 5.5 hours? I mean,
well, I think the point was that Tom LaVecchio thought he was Dr. Phil, and he was trying to broker a peace between everybody, between all the guys.
but they were laughing at that. It's not like they really wanted peace. It was like they were laughing, almost cheering them on.
Exactly. I think he'd had a few, and he was just, and it ended up going where it went, which, they probably got lots of views and whatever. Great. But, what are you going to do? You're going to do that forever?
Yeah, how far can you go with that type of content? One and done. Would anyone want to listen to those idiots screaming around for hours again? Even if the show was only an hour, I only heard, I don't know how much I heard, but it was almost unbearable to listen to.
Right, exactly. Okay, Tim.
What's happening, guys?
Okay, that's much better. So he threatened to come to your house is where we were at, JC.
Yeah. So he threatened to come to my house. When I caught him using the aliases, then he took down his channel and scrubbed the comment section after that. So, but that's kind of JC's MO. He goes into the comment section and the chat and will harass people under multiple aliases. Anyone that he feels that is at all questioning him or even just asking questions. Like, for instance, he says he's got a book deal. I asked what publishing house or publisher he has a deal with, and he got upset about that. Like, little things like that. It's very weird.
Okay, and so you were also accused of being the guy that harassed somebody that Stax was trying to talk to, and they accused you of harassing this girl on Stax's behalf. What was that about?
That's something that JC came up with, I guess, because he had a falling out with someone around the same time that he started getting into it with me online. Is the only thing I can think of. I've never met Stax. I've never talked to Stax. I guess this guy lives on the East Coast. I live on the West Coast. I live in the Bay Area. So I don't know where JC got that. And then JC put that into Lee's head. So Lee believes that I'm some guy from Joe from the East Coast as well. I just find it funny, but yeah, it's not true.
Okay, and so what's your experience been with Lee Cole the Third?
Well, Lee's just like he's just I think JC is worse. Lee's not, in my opinion, very personable, likable. So what I did is that I just commented on some of his behavior. One thing, all I did is I copy and pasted the definition of a troll when he was accusing everyone else of being a troll, and I just let him know that you're a troll, and that sent him sideways. Ever since then, he blocks me, says that I'm this Joe guy, uses me doing all types of weird stuff. So yeah.
Oh, well, no, I'm glad you finally got to say, how your experience of them with, of him and JC. Like, I hadn't really known too much about JC, but I think he claims to have been in the Detroit mob. Is that true?
Well, okay, so he scrubbed all his old videos. Originally, yes, he said he was in the Detroit mob. And then his story kind of shifted, and he said he was with the Chaldeans from Detroit because he thought that was the Italian mob. He didn't know it was a different ethnic criminal organization, that the Chaldeans. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, so he's definitely wavered and changed his story, and so I don't know what he's saying now, but originally he was a part of the mob.
Well, now he's in the Mexican cartel, apparently, or he's got some.
It was interesting. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to see Lee's show the other day with JC talking about the Emerald Triangle in Northern California. As someone from Northern California, it was really funny to hear all the misinformation and listening to JC kind of fumble his way through trying to explain what it was. He didn't know the geographical region of the area. He didn't know any. It was pretty funny, honestly. As someone that has traveled all the time in Northern California and been up there and had many friends that have gone up there, that have worked up there, done business up there. Blue.
Oh, your sound kind of went out. I think we've lost him. Well, I'll leave him up for a minute. So what do you make of that, Al?
Well, I really don't know much of. I'm not familiar with much of JC West Coast's content, and as far as all the trolling and things like that. Some of the shows I have seen of him before, not when he was with Lee Cole. Some of them I found kind of entertaining.
Yeah, but what did you think about?
But I was even considering having him on the show. But I'm hearing all this stuff now, so I'm just I'm listening and taking it all in, and I want to be unbiased. I'm not just going to say, this guy's a.
But what did you think about when he?
But now I'm hearing about scrubbing his channel and comments and things like that, and a lot of hate-filled stuff. Some people, not just here, but other people said, "You can't have this guy on the show. What are you, crazy?"
Going to people's houses.
Yeah, I hate when I hear people talking about stuff like that, and that's something Jeff Nadeau brought up on the show yesterday with Tony Pizza and Lee. He's like, what's with this giving out addresses and stuff? This is YouTube. What are you guys doing? And again, the host Tom didn't even address Jeff Nadeau's question about that, which is so outrageous. These guys are placing threats, and they just let it slide. Hey, Tim.
Are you back?
What? Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my internet, I think.
Yeah, mine was messing up earlier. I was having panic attacks because I thought, oh my God, I might not be able to get on. So what's your take on JC and Lee as a whole? What do you think? I just have to take it.
Well, I think they're kind of, they're almost stuck with each other. JC doesn't get along with anyone really, I guess, in this genre, and Lee doesn't either. So they are kind of stuck with each other. I do find it pretty entertaining though when Lee kind of belittles JC and treats him like his bitch. That's
we talked about that the other day, actually.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Yeah.
That's puzzling because JC seems like the much smarter guy than Lee Cole, and why lay down for him?
Right, exactly. Because you hear it, JC will be, he likes to you just yak, 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 yak. And Lee, let me finish, shut up for a minute. He's constantly like that. And JC kind of acts like a little kitten. Okay. Oh God. Anyway, okay. Well, thank you, Tim. Have you any more to add? Have we covered everything?
Yes.
I've been dying to get you to say.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello? Oh no, he's gone out again. Okay, well, I mean, I'll get him on another time. And we'll just continue another time. I might do a one-on-one with Tim because he's got a lot of information. So, I might get him on another time. Now,
I have a question about Tim. Maybe, since Tim was just here, is there any reason for Tim really even to be engaging or interacting with these guys? Well,
no, not really. I mean, he was a viewer, and he made a comment, that Lee didn't like, and it kind of went from there. And then JC somehow got in there because he's another troll, I think. Okay, Tim's back. Let's try one more time. Okay,
can you hear
Tim.
me?
Yeah,
can you hear me? Okay. Oh, with last thing, JC, is that so on Sunday and Monday, I believe I've been receiving text messages with screenshots. JC is actively behind the scenes trying to get information on me, trying to figure out who I am. For what purpose, I don't know, but he has threatened to come to my house and do stuff. So I do find that pretty disturbing.
It's very disturbing, and what's he going to do when you get to your house? I mean, look at the size of him. I mean, shit. Just like Tony Pizza. Yeah, you'll be sorry. He hasn't got any muscle mass. I don't know what he's going to do when he gets to somebody's house anyway. But, no, it's not to be taken lightly. There's a lot of loonies out there. And Tony Pizza, JC, and Lee Cole fall into that category. So you can't really, dismiss it as nothing. You really can't. So I don't blame you.
Yeah, so
knowing what I know right now, if I was Tim, I just would not bother. I would just ignore them, not bother with them at all. Let them go fight amongst themselves and with others. I would not engage.
I don't comment on JC or Lee's page anymore. I don't do anything with their page. It's when I'm like on other channels that in the comment section where then I get them coming at me. So I do try and leave them alone. I mean, I get like, other than just to stop commenting or to not watch any videos in this genre, I don't do anything to them.
And that's what happens, and that's not on. If you're watching somebody else's show, you should be able to comment without them coming after you. But that's what they do. And that's what I've been talking about, this crap behind the sneaky shit that they do behind the scenes. I've been talking about that all along. And what did I tell that fucking Lee Cole? I told him, don't talk about me. I won't talk about you. And that includes all you little fucking trolls. And what does he do? Yesterday on that show, he must have said Josie about 10 times. Yeah, it's Al and Josie. Josie told you that. Josie told you this. No, Lee, it's public record. Yeah, Josie brought it to the forefront. And I'll tell you why Josie did that. Because you were tearing down people. You were going into their financial records. You were talking about their families, their kids, how they live. And so I gave you a taste of your own medicine, you fucking asshole. Anyway, sorry, people.
They're obsessed with us, Josie. We're the newest new kids on the block. Not kids.
Tim is a perfect example. Tim was just an ordinary viewer. He made, he interacted with them on a bad level, and now they're threatening to come to his house.
Yeah.
So what
So others out there that are watching, maybe you don't want to watch your shows at all. They're just troublemakers. They're trolls. Not worth the time, not worth the effort, because they'll just try and make, cause trouble with other people, just like they've always done.
So go ahead, Tim. Do you have anything else? Tim? Hang on. Okay, Tim, can you hear me? I don't know why this keeps doing this. Hang on.
Hello?
Tim, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you have anything else? Because we're going to go to the comments in a minute. Hello? Okay. Let's go to the comments. Tim, I'll get you back another time. We'll do a one-on-one perhaps and go from there. Okay, so let's go to the comments. Show. Oh, somebody's trying to get on. Let me see. Okay, Lee Kozanostra don't like coffee because he keeps getting a nut stuck in the coffee cup. Oh, I forgot he uses a shot glass. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, him again. Oh my God. Okay, drop the link for Jeff. Okay, hold on 1 second. Invite. Copy. Sorry, people, I'm new to this. As you can tell, this is my second live. Did that go in there? Okay, I dropped a link for Jeff Nader. Okay, let's look at. Okay, Mickey likely says, I beg them to come to my house. Yeah, for real. Oh my gosh. Trying to go down. Okay, bad golfer. Imagine having to floss Tony's teeth. What teeth are those? I thought he had dentures. Al picking a trifecta for us tomorrow for us. That's for you, Al. Can you see?
Yeah, we'll do our best tonight. I'm going to do some Breeders' Cup at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Can you see the chat?
And it's going to be a live show with actor Robert Finaro, who played Eugene Pantacorvo on The Sopranos. Also happens to be a tremendous handicapper who I've known for a few years through horse racing, and this guy gives out winners. We've done some shows before, and he's going to join me tonight at 8:30 on the Mob Show Report.
Okay.
So, yes, Bad Golfer, good to see you.
Can you see the chat?
I see what you put up on your screen. That's it.
Okay.
Which is good enough for me.
Okay, I wanted to tell you a little quick horse racing story, right? When I was in England, I lived near Newmarket, the race course. So the Queen has a lot of horses there. And we would constantly go watch them warm the horses up and, with the jockeys early in the morning. And there was a big race on. And me and my ex, he loved horse racing. And so we went to see this particular horse, Wyndham Wuthering, which was an outsider. That's Callie G's. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Callie G, go fuck yourself. Don't even try to get in here. If he comes in the chat, just kick him out. Anyway, as I was saying, so it was a cold morning and we were going to the race was later in the day, but we went to watch the horses warming up and we were walking across this field and there was a mist. It was a beautiful day and two people were walking towards us. It was a man and a woman. Now, the woman had a headscarf on. She had Wellingtons on and a big, waterproof jacket. And the guy, I kind of recognized him, but I wasn't sure. And as we got closer, she said, fine day for the racing, isn't it? And I looked around, it was only the Queen.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, she was walking along with just her trainer, no police, just her and the trainer. And I said, yes, ma'am, it is, and okay, Jeff's here. Hold on 1 second, Jeff. I said, yes, ma'am, it is. And we were like, oh my God, that was the Queen. And then as we got a little further, I thought, oh shit, I forgot to curtsy. You're supposed to curtsy. Anyway, here comes Jeff Nader.
Yeah, the Queen, she is a huge horse racing fan and a horse involved with breeding over there, owns horses. Yeah, tremendous horse racing. Great story, Josie. Jeff, the big man on campus, how are you?
Doing well. How are you guys? So
Good.
I really wanted to kind of just say my side of the story, when he said what he said, I put my head down, shook my head, and told him to fucking stop. I tried to get a word in edgewise all night with that guy, wouldn't hear it. And no one, as you guys said, no one was controlling the show. It was a free for all, and people were just saying shit. He said vile shit all night. And I called him out multiple times for his shit. He doesn't have an answer for anything. It's just poor me, poor everybody. He blames everybody for his own problems. I wouldn't give him a dime. And I love to help people. I wouldn't give him a dime, though. He blames everybody for his problems. And if you don't agree with him, it's fuck this, fuck that. You know, he doesn't even know me. I was just asking him some questions because there's no info about him anywhere. So I just was curious. Hey, you did this, you did that. You know, why can't we find anything about this? You know, this is an interesting thing, the hypocrisy of some of these folks where they talk constantly about Anthony Raimondi, and for good reason. Anthony Raimondi has not had, there's no proof of him doing anything. This guy does the same shit, and nobody calls him out about it. You know, there's a lot of things that he said last night, buzzwords that I heard, that if I hear them, there's going to be an indictment. You got jammed up with Tony Pep. There's an indictment with that. So, again, it was just a shit show. I went on with the thought that we were going on because I've been on with Tom and those guys last couple of nights, and we had great chats. I mean, really good stuff. And I went on, and you know, I saw Lee was on there. And look, I'm not going to say I have a good relationship with Lee. I just got to a point where he does his thing and I do mine. I don't want any bad blood with the guy. I think he has some real issues, and I think he has to get them figured out. But then Tony comes on, and then Fatball Sicilian comes on. Before you know it, it's a shit show. My goal in all of it, though, was to mend the fence with FBS because he is the one person that I had a relationship with that I do like, and I think I was wrongly persecuted in his eyes. So I was glad we were able to mend out the difference, and I felt like for me it was worth it.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing with Lee, you know, you can't be friends with both. It looked to me like you were sucking up to Lee for a minute.
No.
And I'm like, hang on a minute, because, you know, you can't be friends with both simply because of Lee, not because of Fatball Sicilian. He wouldn't care if you're friends with Lee, but Lee would care if you're friends with Fatball Sicilian. You know, it's a case of, you know, be all or end all. Same thing with Vinnie Bracco. You know, sooner or later, Lee's going to turn on him because you can't be friend to everyone all the time. You know, I mean, you don't have to be rude about it, but I just think sometimes you have to make a stand. And I think what Tony Pizza said yesterday was fucking outrageous. You know, and I'll be happy to kick him in his nuts.
I mean, that was shit he was saying all night, though. He was saying some fucked up shit all night. And
yeah, he talks like that anyway. He's got a foul, dirty mouth.
Yeah. No, listen, he's a guy that doesn't, he wants to say a whole lot of shit, but he doesn't really ever say anything. That's what he does. He has no answers for anything. He just throws shit out there. He gets these certain idiots to believe it. I wouldn't send the guy a dime. He literally blames everybody else for why he can't do things. He's a grown man in America. Every business on the fucking East Coast is hiring. He could get a job. He chooses to blame liberals for his problems. Look, I'm no liberal. I'm no Democrat. I just want to make it, or Republican. I just want to make it clear. They're not the reason you're not getting a job, bro. You're not getting a job because you don't care enough to get a job. And I'm not going to send him nonsense for him to go spend it on steaks and hookers. I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to let him. I'm not going to let him push it around either. I have my job when I came on to YouTube is I talk about the mob and I talk about history. And I'm not going to allow these fake actors to come on here and talk shit and just make stories up. Raimondi did it. He was quickly dispatched. This guy, he's come around. People aren't dispatching him, though. And the reason that Lee did what he did last night is Lee doesn't have a lot of alliances in this. I think he saw Tony as a friend. I don't know. I don't know what Lee's thinking, but.
Well, I mean, you know, we'll see how long that lasts because anyone that's around Lee, I think the longest I've seen last so far is JC from the West Coast, you know, but we'll see how long Tony lasts around Lee when Lee tries to manipulate him and whatever, you know, it's going to be all that again. By the way, nice hair, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm old. But
I wasn't happy with you.
Well, listen,
you look like you were laughing. No, and I looked at it twice. You know, I didn't
zoom in on that. That would never be something I would laugh about. Okay, no. I tried all night to talk to him, and I try to get answers out of him and why he behaves the way he does. But he is a mean individual. He's a mean man. He's a bitter, miserable person. That look, and I will say this about him. I know when we left that chat, it was very late last night. My goal was to again line things with FBS, and it seemed like we did. But when I got off that, I did feel a tinge of sadness for him. I mean, this is a guy that is really down on his luck. I feel bad, but he doesn't have to be such an asshole to everybody about things. If you don't get on board with him and give him what he wants, you're an asshole in his eyes. And
Right.
I just can't be. His behavior is out of control, and the way he talks about certain people, just the way he throws stuff around with just. We're not in the 60s anymore. You can't behave and act that way. You can't.
Well, I gave him $60 because I did feel sorry for him. I did have compassion for him. There were times where I saw he does have this vulnerable side, and when he apologized to FBS this time, I think the last time when he was, really sincere, I think he was sincere in that moment, so I do see it. It flashes from time to time, but the way he's been talking, not just about me, but people in general, and then you've got people throwing money at him to continue to talk that way, and so I just felt like, everyone up on that panel that was laughing last night, they're agreeing with him, they're laughing with him. People have said, oh no, they weren't laughing, with him. They were just shocked by what he said. That fucking Tom LaVecchia was not shocked by anything. He laughed he laughed the loudest.
Yeah,
I'm trying to hear that shit.
That was one thing.
Anyway,
look, I have a relationship with Tom. That's one thing I'll definitely ask him about and why he allowed.
Yeah, we watched it.
Because if that's my show, I'm kicking him the fuck out right away. It wasn't my show, unfortunately. And I also made it a point to say something. But again, I could say anything. Tony's just going to talk. That's all he does. By the time we ended, he had to get kicked off because his fucking background noise is so terrible in that rickety car that he drives around.
Right.
He's
and to everybody's
be
a blowjob, a jerk off.
And there's Tom. Tom's in here, so maybe he can explain. I wouldn't have allowed him to continue doing what he said. As soon as he entered race into it, and he's done that a lot. He's called you this.
I think it was a disgrace.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He said that black cornball cabbage patch, and they found that really fucking funny. Everybody except Damien, though.
Yeah, well, look, Josie, I think very highly of you. We've had conversations, you and I. I think you're great. I wish you the best. I wish you, Al, both the best. I want to make it real clear. You mentioned playing, but like for me, I'm just at the point where I've been through so much bullshit on the internet. I just don't try to make enemies anymore. Like I just try to. You're right. I can't play Switzerland. There are definitely people I don't like. I'm not a huge Lee fan. I don't like Tony Pizza. I don't like I don't like some of these people. I shouldn't have associated with it. I just couldn't stop watching it, just the way they were acting. And again, my goal was to smooth things over with FBS, honestly. And we did that. We had a conversation today. And that's all I could really ask for. I wish everybody else.
Yeah, but they're going to be on your ass tomorrow. You know that, don't you?
Well,
Lee and Tony Pizza.
Well, I don't care what Tony Pizza says about me. He knows that I can probably find out the info he doesn't want me to find out. So, look, if he was around, good for him. I wish him the best. I hope he finds some happiness in his life and stop blaming people for his problems. As far as Tom and Vinny and those guys, Al asked why they did that show. I think the goal of the show the thought was maybe we could try to get these guys together and mend the difference. But I also say, we all know what this is about. It's about views. Tom, I guess, noticed that, and he put everybody on. I didn't think he would think it would have got that crazy. But either way, you're great. I care about your feelings, Josie. And Al, I
thank you, Jeff. Well, thanks
so much,
Thanks for clearing it up. All right, see you later.
You got it.
Okay.
You did mention something, Josie, about the vulnerable side of Tony Pizza there was something in the show last night that jumped out at me that he did show the vulnerable side. I think he does. I think he was overwhelmed going up against Fat Bald Sicilian because you could see Fat Bald Sicilian was just hitting him head on, wasn't fazed by what he had to say. And finally, Tony was backed into a corner when he was talking about this supposed ex-girlfriend of his. And he I think his guard was down, and he says, hey, look, we didn't have to sleep together to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Look, I'm a homeless guy, and I'm out there. I don't have a place, and I'm dirty, and this and that. And so, no, of course, she's beautiful. She's never going to sleep with a guy like me. And I was like, wow, that's screwed up. But at this point, the guy let his guard down. He's like, yeah, that really is kind of sad. And I was like, shit, this guy,
Yeah, I mean, it is.
You let it slip, but why would you lie about that? So, he just gave a straight answer. Hey, I'm this way, she's that way. So, no, she's not going to sleep with me.
Well, that's not the thing that got me about that. The thing is, all along, he's been saying, my girl, some of this, some of that. Nobody better not say anything bad about her. I did a show on her yesterday, and I didn't say anything bad about her because I saw what possibly could have happened there. I'm
going to have to watch that show.
Yeah, I did. I gave people a different perspective on what happened there. But the thing about it is he can talk shit about any other woman. You know what I mean? He talks about my private parts. He's disgusting. FBS and Shanna, what has Shanna ever done to him?
Nothing.
His argument is with FBS. What has she ever done to him?
Mm-hmm.
But nobody better say anything about Sharma. No. So anyway, I know you've got a show you're doing a show in a minute, right?
No, it show's at 8:30. I got a couple minutes if you want to take some questions. 8:30 is my show.
Okay. Let's see. Where am I? Okay. Smoking Tommy. Oh, I can feel sympathy for Lee of Tony. They created their own circumstances. If I were either of them, they don't realize how fortunate they are. I would turn it around and be happy to do it. In fact, Smoking Tommy, I've got to give you props for the Muppet Show idea because it was him that kind of said it reminded him of the Muppet Show. Okay, Code of the Streets. Hi, Code of the Streets. I love this guy. Josie, hope all is well. Any man who claims to be a street guy or ex-mobster biker, whatever, and talks to women like that in my world means those men are broads, female tendencies. Josie, I have you back. Thank you so much, Go to the Streets. He always does this guy. I love
this. Go to the Streets. Great comment.
Yeah.
Observation.
Wait a minute. Miss can't be wrong. Oh, Armchair NBA. I was made aware of what he said. No excuse. I want to send a sincere apology. Well, thank you for that, Armchair NBA. I appreciate it.
Great job, Armchair NBA.
I thought that was awful. But thank you for the apology. I accept it. Miss can't be wrong. She's arsehole tired.
Miss can't be wrong.
I think, were you watching the show till 3 a.m. or whenever it was? See, I saw it today. I didn't even know it was on.
Pasha, hiya, Pasha.
Hi, Pasha. Yeah, now, Lee, after that.
Great job on my show last night. Thanks again.
Right, I saw it, and she's educated, but according to Lee, she's a janitor. She's only good enough to be. Exactly, it's ridiculous. Okay, hang on. Oh, of course. Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. Armchair MBA. Yes, that would be fine. I think Fatboy Sicilian or somebody's got my number. I know Jeff does. I don't know if you talk to him. No arsehole. Okay. Pasha. Yeah, he called you a janitor. He said that's what you were. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm the maid. You're a janitor. When we're both way more educated than he would ever be. It's ridiculous.
Mr. Menza, yeah.
Hello, Edward. How are you? In fact, Edward, I'm going to call you Teddy because that's what we do in England for Edward. Teddy. I like that name. They can connect us. Yes. I think Fatboy Sicilian has my number, and so does Jeff, and I don't know, but I'll send you my email. I'll give you my number. I just don't want to put it on here. Teresa Murphy. Hi, Teresa. How are you, my dear?
Hi, Teresa.
That's my second name, actually, Teresa. Josephine Teresa. Because my mother was from Ireland. She named us after all the saints.
Beautiful name.
Okay. Pasha. Carlos. Yeah. Hey, Carlos. I love Carlos too. Carlos always has my back as well in the chat. You know, what Tim was talking about, you know, when you do make comments on other people, they come and attack you. But Carlos, if he's in there, he always helps me out. Yes, he
Carlos
does.
is terrific.
And Jesse.
One of my moderators too. Yeah, great.
Yeah, I mean, the
job,
moderators,
great guy,
thank
great
you.
comments.
Miss Can't Be Wrong, you have a wrench, right? I hope I did that right. Just say yes or no. Miss Can't Be Wrong. I think I did it right. I'm hoping so. Let's see. Smoking Tony. Abuse Al. You hold Tony so he can't run, and I'll tune him up. Or better yet, we can let the ladies work him over. Yeah, he'd be worse off.
Hi, Smoking Tommy. Good one. Here it is.
Morris is a warrior. Yes, she is, Carlos. She
Carlos.
very well. I liked her. In fact, I'm going to have you on, Pasha. You know, we'll have to get together and sing some Negro spirituals. You know.
So how about you? A question for you, Josie.
Yeah.
We're talking about the trolls, Lee and Tony Pizza. If they try, you know, would you ever consider having them on your show?
Well, strangely enough, somebody said to me yesterday that Tony Pizza was saying he wanted to come on my show. I thought about that. Possibly him. Possibly, yeah. Why not? Lee.
Me, I would never have either of them on, but it's up to you. You know, we don't have to agree. You know, we both give it unbiased. So, yeah.
No, Tony Pizza, because, you know, underneath all that crap.
Not buying it. Go ahead.
Know, you don't think so? All right. Well, you know, who might consider? Lee,
it's up to you, though. Maybe you see a different direction to go with it.
You saw Lee last night, right? Oh, hang on a minute. Miss Can't Be Wrong said. Okay. Oh, good. Did you get the wrench, Miss Can't Be Wrong? Anyway, hang on. How? Oh, Pasha said. Okay. Okay, let's get together and burn them up. Walking, I'm ready home. Yeah, absolutely. I'll get you up on. We can sing some Negro spirituals. Look at the moon. Make Tony Pizza happy. Lee Cole, no, I would not have on. Simply because you saw what he did last night. Fat Bull Sicilian, whenever you ask Lee a question, and it's a question he doesn't want to answer, he gets louder and louder. He starts talking about something completely different to move you away from what the original question was. And then he gets mad. Then he got mad at the host, Tom LaVecchia. You're not picking, you're not telling Fat Bull to say nothing, and that's what happens. Then he gets mad, he starts screaming, chatting, and he stomps off. So there's no point. Not only that, Lee could never debate me. He thinks he can, but he couldn't. So that's a bust. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to be humiliated by a woman, especially a black woman. And he would be humiliated for real. So that's not even in question.
Yeah, there's no way I'd have either of on my show. I'm not going to give human garbage a platform. I've seen enough of Tony Pizza, the stuff that he said even yesterday on the show. He could have a soft side where he's trying to dig for money or something like that. He's a con man. Get out on the streets. I'd never give these guys a platform. I don't want my brand tarnished. You know, I don't want to step in shit because it'll get all over you. So no, and I don't give a crap about them. I'm not offended if they might say something about us or about me. I don't know these clowns, and you take it from the source, you know.
Right. So Code of the Street
I'm never going to give them a platform.
Okay. Code of the Street.
Not that type of show. No trolls. No crap.
Right.
Forget about it.
Josie, all this is like school. They like you, have no self-esteem to confront you the right way. So they resort to bitch shit. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. Kevin, Maverick with coffee.
Hiya, Kevin.
Mickey Green. Josie, what if Finney was innocent and just laughed at something prior just curious, choosing sides. Well, the reason that I don't think Vinny is innocent is because Vinny, you know, he's a nice guy. I'm not saying that, but he doesn't want to get embroiled in anything, and he's right. But my thing is, sometimes you do have to take a stand for your friends. It's not that I'm his friend, but what Tony Pizza said about me was wrong. It wasn't necessarily about me. If he said it about any black person, it's wrong, and he should have spoken out instead of. I looked at him; he was grinning about it, you know. And I've seen him on other shows. You know, he can be on Lee's show, let's say, and Shanna's brought up, or Fatball Sicilian's brought up, and Lee talks shit. Vinny will, you know, skate. It's not that Vinny joins in; he doesn't. But he doesn't really necessarily make a stand either. And sometimes for your friends, the way Damien did it was perfect. Damien, Pizza Man is not Damien's friend, but he said, hey, listen, bro, you know, talking about women is not a good look. You know, he talked to him respectfully and he accepted that. That's what I'm saying about Vinny. You know, you can't be on both sides of the fence, skinning and grinning with everybody all the time. Sometimes you've got to pull some people up. And for example, I mean, I don't know Shanna and Fatball Sicilian. I don't. I mean, we've corresponded here and there or once in a while, but that's been about it. But when I hear him talking about her, you know, and I think I've defended her before. I can't remember who the hell it was now, but, you know, I've defended her before because it's nothing to do with her. Nothing. If your argument is with Fatball Sicilian, keep it there. Why, you know, and Tony even said, and I believed him when he said that, I used her because I know that would hurt you. And that's the truth. And I believe that of him. But, you know, that's all I'm saying about Vinny. Sometimes you have to take a stand. He's a nice guy. I've got nothing against him. I was pissed at him last night. Yes. I was pissed at all of them, you know, except Damien and Fatball Sicilian. But anyway, I've forgiven Jeff. I've forgiven Armchair Fella. And, you know, there you have it. Now.
What do you think about the length of that show, Josie? 5 hours, 5+ hours?
That was insane. I guess some people watched it all that time. I don't think. Hang on, what Pasha say? Lee says I'm a janitor, but he won't even watch. True. Jesse, get FPS to 4K. Yeah, let's try and get. Yeah, how many does he need? Let's try and get, you know, sub to FBS's channel. Let's get him to 4K. Oh, and another thing, I want to say congratulations to Wise Guy TV. He's moving into a new home. His channel's taking off really well. I love his show. I generally miss the lives. I'm trying not to, but I'd like to get him on one day. If you see this Wise Guy, you know, let me know. Okay. Cuddle Streets. He's not familiar with your guest, but would like to say hi to your guest, and I like his view. So that's for you, Al.
Thank you very much, Code of the Streets. We're glad you're enjoying the show.
Yeah, Al has a show. It's called Mob Show Reports. And what he does, he reviews the shows that he sees daily. And once a week, me and him may collaborate and have our different takes on the shows. But Al usually comes on in the morning and the afternoon. So sub to his channel. It's Mob Show Reports. Really good show. I saw Al really early on, and I liked his show. So there you go.
Thanks, Josie.
You're welcome.
Same goes for your show. Tremendous.
Yeah. All right, then. Well, that's about it. You ready to wrap it up, Al? I know you've got another show, so I'm not going to keep you on here. And,
okay, yeah, I'm going to be looking at some stuff for the horses, some of the handicapping, and that prep up a little bit. That's going to go live in 45 minutes.
Now, where is the horses? Is it there at Belmont?
This weekend, the championship races, the Breeders' Cup, they're in Del Mar.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And that's going to be Friday and tomorrow and Saturday. Really, the biggest races are on Saturday, but there are some big ones tomorrow, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have to give me a couple of winners. I'll send you some money. Put a bet on for me.
Okay, I will.
In fact, I'm going to come to New York. We're going to go to the races.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Al. It's been great. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. See you
You're
soon.
welcome, Josie. Thanks for having me, and thanks for watching, everybody. It's a great show,
It's been
Josie.
fun.
Thanks.
Okay, and thank you for the apologies, people. Jeff and Armchair Fellow, I forgot his name there. Tom Lavecchia, thank you. I appreciate your apologies. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.